welcome to a very special episode of Let's Talk Wrestling.
Yes.
So for those of you who have been keeping up to date with the news, we are on the road to Wrestlemania. Wrestlemania is another two-night event this year, and will be, I believe, on the evening of Saturday after Stand and Deliver.
I believe
so it's quite a busy. It's quite a busy schedule.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a very, very hectic schedule. They're trying to fit in Stand and Deliver, the Hall of Fame, as well as 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, a lot of wrestling. So if any of you are going to it, then best of luck to you. 'Cause it's going to be a busy couple of days.
keep drinking your Red Bull.
Yeah, definitely. So in today's episode, we're just going to break down all of the matches that have been announced so far. We'll have a quick chat about each one and give our prediction on who we think is going to win. We've also got a couple of rumours that have been leaked as well, which we'll share with you guys, and also a couple of bits that we would like to see happen.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that I've added in last minute. So if you guys do go on to enjoy, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and we'll make a start whenever you're ready, Jeremy.
Okay, yeah, ready when you are.
Okay, so like we said, it's another 2-night event on Saturday the 2nd of April and Sunday the 3rd of April. In Arlington, Texas.
Yep.
So we do like a Texas WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. And the so the match card. So this is obviously not finalised. This is what has been announced so far. We've broken it down to WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday as they've announced it to be. I do know that at least one match has already been swapped. So this isn't the final match card, but this is what has been announced so far at the time of recording. So I think the easiest way of doing this is we will just jump straight to our individual predictions, I think.
Yeah.
So let's start off with a big one, shall we? So, Smackdown Women's Championship match: Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey.
Ooh, yes, yeah. This is a strong match on the card. I think this is one of the ones that I'm actually looking forward to. I think WrestleMania seems I don't know. It seems a bit washy this year. I don't know. Something about it doesn't seem quite right yet. I'm hoping that there's still a little bit of time. Hopefully something will change on here. Some matches look really good. Some matches not so much. This is one of the ones that looks really strong in my opinion. Really looking forward to
definitely. I think this is definitely one of the stronger matches on the card. Ronda Rousey has been looking great since her return. Obviously, winning the Royal Rumble this year, and been looking dominant since. Charlotte Flair is as good as she ever is.
Excellent, absolutely excellent. Yeah.
So nothing disappointing there. Should be a very exciting match. Like I said, definitely one that I'm looking forward to. Prediction.
You know I'm only going to go one way with this one. She's one of my all-time favourites. Really, really enjoy watching her. I'm going to have to say, new SmackDown Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey. She's the baddest.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I think Ronda Rousey will pick up the win here at WrestleMania. It's certainly not going to be a disappointing match.
No,
I think
shouldn't be. And there's been some good storytelling leading up to this as well, especially when they've gone back and highlighted some of the stuff that happened previously when they had the triple threat match and all the build up that they had for that one. So there's been some really, really good stuff on this one. Both women looking strong. They haven't made Charlotte look weak. No. They haven't made Ronda look weak. It looks like this could be a proper kick-ass match. And with 2 very strong people in. So, yeah, really, really looking forward to this one. But, yeah, if I'm going to go anywhere, I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, definitely. And so we talked about one women's match. Why don't we jump over to the other side and talk about the Raw Women's Championship match? Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. So, again, should be a really strong match.
Yeah.
I mean, the storytelling for this for the build-up to this match has actually not been too bad.
Yeah.
There's been some good bits there. So far, I think at the time of recording, both of the women's matches are on the same night, which is interesting.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Flair and Rousey gets the main event because that's how it should be. As Rousey won the Royal Rumble, she should get the main event for night 1, and then hopefully we'll see Lesnar and Reigns as night 2's main event. I think that's a given anyway. That's bound to happen. So, but yeah, surprising that they put both of them on the same night. But this should be really good. I've actually quite enjoyed some of the storytelling in this as well. I like the whole attacking the throats. I like that whole Becky Lynch speech, eye for an eye, a throat for a throat. I rather like that. I'm not a huge fan of Becky Lynch, but I like the way that she is at the moment. She looks slightly unhinged. She looks like she's on the verge of cracking, kind of thing. And she's playing it really, really well at the moment. They both look strong in this as well. So I think the women's division at the moment is actually looking pretty good. They're actually doing some good stuff, and the women are looking strong.
Yeah.
And I like it, the fact that they're not making one look weaker than the other. They are keeping them very even Stevens. Yeah, really, really liking that.
Yeah, and they've both had a good couple of months, sort of good start to 2022. Obviously Becky Lynch with that great match with Lita at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair obviously winning the Elimination Chamber. So they're both going into WrestleMania looking really, really strong.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be an exciting clash, I think.
There's been some good stuff with this one. I think out of the two women's matches, I think this is the one that doesn't look quite as strong as the Flair Rousey one, but there are ways that they could help make this one stronger. Now, we were discussing this yesterday, and we were saying about the Becky Lynch promo, where she says about wanting to take Bianca Belair's identity, and I turned around to you and said, what if they made this a title versus hair match?
Yeah.
And if Bianca Belair loses, that hair gets cut off. I think that would be the way to do it. I think that would suddenly give this match that extra little oomph, that extra little impetus that it needs to make it interesting. We have still got Raw coming up. We still have a week left. We have Raw and Smackdown coming up. Maybe that stipulation could get thrown in. But for me personally, I think, wow, that would be exciting to see that, because we don't get hair matches very often, especially women's hair matches as well. So I would like to see that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would just add that extra layer of sort of spice onto it and kind of make it a bit more intrigue on there. So, ultimate question, prediction?
I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna have to go with a new Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
I think I could see Bianca take it. I was reading some stuff on the social media yesterday, and people were saying about how they would like Bianca Belair to have us to squash Becky Lynch the way that Becky Lynch squashed her to win the title. I don't know. I don't want to see that. I want to see a nice proper match. These two can put together a good match. We've seen it before. I'd like to see them have a good proper Wrestlemania 15-20 minute match, pulling out all the stops and see how it goes. But if they did add that stipulation of title versus hair as well, that would be that extra little bit of taste on there. But yeah, definitely. I'm going to say women new Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Bianca Belair is on form at the minute. She's at the top of her game. She has a score to settle with Becky Lynch, obviously, for SummerSlam. I think Bianca Belair will take this one at WrestleMania and have her WrestleMania.
The fastest, the toughest, the strongest,
etc.
etc. So
So both women's matches looking really strong.
Yeah.
At this WrestleMania, which is a positive.
Which is really good for the women's division. See, a few years ago we used to laugh at the women's division and sort of mock it for that it lacked strength, it lacked talent. But over the last few years, it's really, really come on. And see, these two matches are two really good, strong
could be show stealers.
Matches. Exactly, they both could be. Yeah, yeah.
I would like to see maybe one get moved over to the other night and kind of spread them out a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, yeah. Either that or have Becky and Bianca as the opener and have Charlotte and Ronda as the close.
Yeah. Just spread them out a little bit, kind of differentiate them a little bit from one another. Anyway, moving on to our next matchup. This is where, apologies in advance, guys. This is where things start to go a little bit sour. So we may sound a little bit grumpy when we talk about these next couple of matches, but feel free to let us know in the comments if you agree or if there's something we're missing. So we have the Smackdown Tag Team Championships on the line. The Usos, good start. Usos versus King Nakamura and Rick Boogs.
Okay, now I don't dislike Nakamura and Boogs. I think they are entertaining. They are definitely entertaining. I don't understand why they've put these two in for WrestleMania. Seeing that Nakamura's only recently come back from his hand injury, which is part of the reason why when he had the Intercontinental title, he wasn't defended that often. So I don't know why they've put them in and not maybe put in the Viking Raiders instead. I think the Viking Raiders got hard done by not having that match that they were supposed to have at Elimination Chamber, wasn't it? Yeah, at Elimination Chamber, and then instead they had the match on Smackdown. And I would have rather had seen the Viking Raiders at WrestleMania and get their well-deserved opportunity to be on the main stage. So yeah, that's my problem with this one. But yeah, what do you think?
Well, the thing is, like, you've got the Usos, one of the most dominant tag teams in WWE at the moment, against, and you like, yeah, they 100% deserve to be the Smackdown Tag Team Champions, because every time they come out and they defend the titles, they look stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
And so obviously they deserve to be at WrestleMania, but I would have much preferred to have seen them against a proper star-studded tag team like the Viking Raiders, or even the Mysterios. Like, don't bring in Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And the Miz, like, have the Mysterios.
We'll get to that later.
But there are tag teams there that you can work with. There's not as many now because of the various things that have happened over the years. Yeah. But there are people there that you could do to make it a proper clash between two really solid tag teams.
Yeah. Established tag team versus an established tag team. Yeah, would have made much more sense rather than putting Nakamura and Boogs in, who worked well together. Yeah, but we haven't seen them do much sort of tag team work really, other than sort of over the last few months where Nakamura's been injured. Yeah. But yeah, I think something like the Viking Raiders, even I would have even objected if they had done Woods and Kingston as the New Day. I would not object to seeing Usos and New Day at WrestleMania. No. The matches that they've put on in the past have been phenomenal. Yeah, I would have been happy to see that one more time. But yeah, there's people there that they could have gone against. So, yeah. But yeah.
I mean, I'll be fair to them. Rick Boogs and Nakamura, they do work well together, and that's obvious from watching them. Yeah. But this is something we also spoke about yesterday. There's better matches that they could have put Shinsuke Nakamura in that would have been a better use of having him at WrestleMania. Yeah. And I know one that we both are really biting our nails for is for the Intercontinental title to be defended at WrestleMania. And what better way to do it than to have a good old ladder match?
Yeah. So, exactly. There's a lot of things that are in place for them to have an Intercontinental title ladder match. Yeah. We lost Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, recently. They could have set this up as a tribute to Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels' WrestleMania 10 ladder match. I think that would have been a nice touch. They could have put in the Intercontinental title on the line. You've got people like Ricochet. You've got Sami Zayn. You've got the
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, Shinsuke Nakamura. You've got so many people on there that you could have put in to have made that into a ladder match, and there would have been a nice reason behind it as well. They could have made it as a special tribute to Scott Hall. I think that would have been a really, really nice touch. Yeah. But they don't seem to have gone with that. Now I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that maybe this will change. Unfortunately, we're filming this on Saturday. On the Friday Night Smackdown, they've announced that next Friday on Smackdown, it will be Ricochet defending the Intercontinental title against Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Why they've decided to do this and put it on Smackdown when this could have been a WrestleMania match, I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe something will happen, and as a result, it will then become a WrestleMania match. Keeping my fingers crossed, I really hope that does happen. The interesting thing also is that the Intercontinental title has not been defended on a pay-per-view since last year's WrestleMania. And that was Big E versus Apollo Crews in that Nigerian drum match thing. since then, it hasn't been defended at a pay-per-view event. Now, that's worrying to me, because to me, the Intercontinental title is the stepping stone to greatness. It is that stepping stone that takes you up to the next level. When you look at people like Bret Hart, when you look at people like Mr. Perfect, when you look at Razor Ramon, when you look at all those people and you look at how they progressed up, Shawn Michaels did the same thing, Triple H, The Rock, all of these people, they all had that starting level, was being that Intercontinental Champion, making that Intercontinental title worth something, and then moving your way up to the next level. They don't seem to do that anymore, and that really annoys me with the Intercontinental title. It's losing its prestige, it's losing its presence. I bet Miz is like all for the Intercontinental title being something important. I bet the Miz has nightmares about this at the moment, because it just seems like they forget the prestige, the importance, the history of the Intercontinental title, and it's all gone. And the fact that it hasn't been defended on a pay-per-view for a year really narks me. I'm sorry, guys, I'm going off on a tangent here, but it does really narc me about that. So
yeah, it's definitely an insult when you look at the prestige that the Intercontinental title has. The likes over the years of like Chris Jericho, The Miz, even people like Wade Barrett that have made the Intercontinental title relevant. I know that The Miz is definitely a name that springs to mind. When he had the Intercontinental title, you knew about it.
it meant something.
Yeah,
It meant something when he had it. That's the thing. He made it relevant again.
And now you're going through a stage where you even forget who the Intercontinental Champion is.
Yeah.
And like obviously I'm on the moon right now about the fact that they've put it on Ricochet, but
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but even already it's getting like
yeah,
because it's kind of like
they're not making anything of it.
It's starting to turn in almost into the way the tag team division is. It's kind of like, if you're not Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns, then you're kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it feels like at the moment.
It is. But I mean, you've got so many young stars. You've got so much of a future there. You've got people like Ricochet. You've got Austin Theory. You've got all these young guys that are coming up, and they should be fighting tooth and nail to get that Intercontinental title, to get themselves onto that first step. Yeah. And at the moment, it just seems irrelevant. Anyway, let's get back to what we were actually talking about originally, which was the tag title. Title.
So prediction, I think it's fairly safe to say, but prediction anyway.
I want the Usos to win it. However, I'm going to throw a spanner in this one. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Nakamura and Boogs actually take it, because I got a feeling that they're that little project, that little thing that WWE sometimes tries to do with tag teams, and they did it with Randy Orton and Riddle. They made RK Bro, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to be SmackDown's equivalent of RK Bro. So my heart says the Usos, my head says Nakamura and Boogs, and I'm actually going to go with my head on this one, and I'm going to say Nakamura and Boogs take the SmackDown tag team titles.
Yeah, that is difficult. It's difficult. I really want to say the Usos. I'm a big fan of the Usos. I think that they're one of the strongest tag teams that we've seen for a long time in the WWE. I'm just going to be controversial and say the Usos are going to win.
Yay, we got a difference of opinion.
Because I can't physically bring myself to see Rick Boogs win a championship. But anyway, moving on.
I remember when you said that about Otis.
Well, do you know what? At the minute, Alpha Academy, again, one of the strongest tag teams that they've got.
Yep.
So anyway, moving on to another tag match. It doesn't get much better.
It doesn't, unfortunately. No, this is the other one that we need to talk about, isn't it?
So. Oh, by the look of it, it doesn't get better for a couple of matches.
No,
so you have to
bear with us, guys. Sorry about that.
So, I think we actually covered the best two at the start, but anyway, we'll carry on. The Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios. I tried to say it with a straight face, didn't really work. But, so I think for those of you who are veterans of the channel, you know that we both really like the Miz, especially the chairman.
Love the Miz.
We're both really big fans of the Miz.
Yeah.
Logan Paul, on the other hand, go away. That's the only word that springs to mind. Just I really can't stand him.
Doesn't mean anything to us in the UK. That's the problem. Logan Paul doesn't really mean anything to us. So
one of the things that we both say repeatedly on this channel over and over and over and over and over again is we do not need celebrities coming in taking spots from actual superstars.
Absolutely right. Again, and I'm going to go back again to the Intercontinental title again, and go back to Ricochet. Like that should be a given that's on the WrestleMania card. And instead, you've got people like Logan Paul and Johnny Knoxville, and we've had it in the past with the Gronk and all these other people that come in and Bad Bunny, I mean, but fair enough, Bad Bunny did put on a good performance, but it's another spot that somebody whose career and job is to work their way to that point, like. For these guys, like getting onto WrestleMania is like a dream come true. It's the thing that young guys dream about when they want to become a wrestler. They dream about being on that stage at WrestleMania, and then you've got a celebrity that comes in and they just take that spot. And I know why WWE does it. I know they do it for publicity. I know they do it to get more buy rates. They do it to try and generate interest within other medias. But like for like this one, what we've got Logan Paul, we've got Johnny Knoxville, and it's like.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah, Pat McAfee as well. If we count Pat McAfee, so that's 3 spots that are being taken up, which just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem fair, and it kind of takes away for wrestling fans. I think it takes away something. I mean, it adds something to people that are interested in Logan Paul or people that are interested in Johnny Knoxville, and those other media outlets. I mean, it'll do good for the Jackass promotion and stuff like that, but yeah. Just not enjoying this. But I mean, it'll happen. It will happen. I like the Mysterios. I like Ray and Dominic. Could this possibly be a time where they're looking at maybe splitting the two of them up? Maybe there's controversy in the match. I'm kind of upset as well that the Miz has another kind of match for WrestleMania again. I mean, we had it with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison, and now again this year he seems to have got another tag match. The Miz is good. The Miz is so good, and he doesn't need to keep being in tag team matches at WrestleMania. Like, give him a chance. I would have liked to have seen him fight for the Intercontinental title or even the United States title. Something like that. Yeah. So rather that than this, but. The Miz is a loyal worker, and he's one of those guys. He will take that if the company turns around to him and says, "Miz, we want you to wrestle a celebrity." He will do it, and fair play. Or we want you to wrestle with a celebrity. He will do it. We want you to dress up as a giant carrot. He would do it because that's who he is. And he's great for the company. He's great for the business in that regards. And it gets him a spot on the WrestleMania slot. So why wouldn't you? But at the same time.
Yeah. And we're going back to that question again of who's going to win. Now, I think I speak for both of us in saying we know who we want to win, but I think we know for publicity reasons who actually is going to win. So, anyway, any thoughts on?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Miz and Logan Paul pick up the victory. But I don't see what that's going to do for the Mysterios.
No.
So it could be that the Mysterios will win. I mean, the Mysterios are a wrestling team, so. But then maybe this could be this thing. Maybe this could be the thing where Miz and Logan Paul pick up the victory, and this could be the start of the splintering of the Mysterios. I don't know. I mean, I think that would be quite interesting if they did do that. Maybe that would be the result that would actually get something good out of it. So I'm going to say Miz and Logan Paul to pick up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the way they're going to go. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Moving on to Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. There is another name I like to call him, but I won't say it for YouTube purposes. So.
This is WrestleMania.
I think it's best you start but you start with this one because
This is WrestleMania, guys. Come on, it's like I don't know what is going on with these last couple of matches. Have been hurting me. This one is like I don't get this match at all. I'm sorry, but like this is, I mean, Drew McIntyre was helping to carry the company during the COVID period as a champion. And this is the guy that won a Royal Rumble. This is the guy that beat Brock Lesnar, and now all of a sudden he's fighting Happy Corbin. Now I'm gonna say something which will probably surprise a lot of people, but I actually like Baron Corbin. I like Baron Corbin. I don't like Happy Corbin. I understand the whole thing that he did with changing his gimmick and everything else. I understand all of that because he's trying to keep it fresh, keep it different. I don't like this gimmick. I'm sorry to say it. I like Corbin as a wrestler. I quite enjoy watching his matches. I like some of his stuff. I love End of Days. End of Days is a fantastic finisher. I really like it. I don't like Happy Corbin as a character. I don't like him with Madcap Moss and all the stupid jokes and everything else. I think we covered a lot of this before. But yeah. Just not having this. I just don't see why they've put these two together unless this is going to be the start of something for one or the other. This match kind of has no real relevance at all. I can't see going any other way other than a Drew McIntyre win. I'm sorry. I just don't get this match. Even the build up for it has been poor. Really poor. He beats Madcap. Drew beats Madcap Moss. He gets beaten down, and they with the neck injury, which we knew was also a legit injury as well, where he had to get his neck looked at. He comes back, he beats Madcap Moss again, and then all of a sudden we're lining up for the match with Corbin, and it's like I don't care. I really don't care. So yeah, I don't care. Drew McIntyre wins. Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
And the wrestling guy doesn't even want to add anything to that. So,
no,
and the thing, I think this could have been Drew and Bobby. Drew and Bobby Lashley would have been good.
Drew McIntyre, ladder match.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, you can put him in the ladder match with the Intercontinental. Yeah. Why not?
Or, and this is again where it's going to get really heated. Somebody very important, very special to me as a wrestling fan that hasn't got a WrestleMania match yet. And again, we'll cover that later about a rumour that's coming up about who he may face. But if he isn't on the WrestleMania card, the wrestling guy is not going to be happy.
No.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
But again, it could have been him and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
And that would have been
that would have been good.
Yeah.
That would have been good. Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see. Starts to pick up a little bit now.
Because for that.
Because we.
I almost don't want to watch this at the moment. The way this is going.
But that's a point we've raised many times. At the moment, you wouldn't think we're talking about a WrestleMania.
No, you would think this was just a standard pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think if I'm honest, the match card for Elimination Chamber was better than this.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. We have the WWE and Universal Championship winner-take-all match with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. So it's been quite interesting reading about this one online actually, because it's almost a split 50-50. Some people are really looking forward to this. Some people are ranting and raving about this. Other people are the complete opposite. They couldn't care, seen it before, don't want to see it again.
We have seen Reigns and Lesnar numerous times already. But what I do like about this one is the fact that the roles are reversed, and Lesnar is going in as the face. The fans are behind Lesnar, and Roman Reigns is going in as the heel. And Roman Reigns' heel work for the last so many months has been
number one. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. He's doing it absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So him and Paul Heyman, it works. It's absolute genius. So yeah, absolutely love it. The fact that Brock's out on his own as well, without Heyman as well, I really like that. The fact he's getting to do more mic work and stuff like that, and he's really good. He's really good. And you can tell Lesnar's passion for the business and the way he wants to work at making things better and getting the best out of every match and everything else. And it's really working. okay, yes, some of the build up over the last couple of weeks has been very kind of Brock Lesnar comes out, I'm angry, I want Roman Reigns, blah blah blah, and then he goes on a tear, and Roman Reigns runs off. Rinse repeat. They did it again on Smackdown this week as well, where Lesnar ends up taking all the security out with a steel chair or whatever. And it's like, yeah, there could have been some better build up to this. I would have maybe liked to have seen like Lesnar come out and Reigns gets the upper hand on him and beats him down or whatever. Or they could have done it the other way, where Lesnar gets the upper hand and beats Reigns down, and just added a little bit something, but just taking out more and more security guard. I wouldn't want to be a security guard in WWE, I tell you that, especially with Brock Lesnar around at the moment. So that's been a bit different. The fact that they are doing it on opposite roles, and like you said, yeah, the reaction is very 50-50. Some people are loving it, some people are hating it. But what I do also, another thing I do like about this one as well, is that when you look at things like the betting odds and things like that, that's very 50-50 as well. So there's no kind of certainty as to who's going to win this.
No.
And I like that. I'd rather that than have it, oh yeah, it's got to be Lesnar or it's got to be Reigns, because of this one is very kind of, it could go one way, it could go the other.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm looking forward to this one. I think it'd be good. Originally, I kind of thought, please make it a unification match, because if it's just champion versus champion, no one's going to care. So I'm glad that they finally have done the winner take all stipulation.
And that's interesting as well, the fact that they are putting that winner takes all stipulation in, so there will be one champion.
Yeah.
Is this the way that WWE is going to become? Are we going to suddenly see one men's champion, one women's champion? Are we going to start going back in, because now the roster seems to be smaller, are we going to go back into maybe merging everything back together again and having all as one entity rather than having Raw, SmackDown, NXT? Will it all merge in together? I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind them using NXT as well and boosting up the roster as well, doing it that way. So, but yeah, maybe that will happen.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see. But
one little statement that I did spot on the WWE.com that I wanted to bring up. This is a very bold statement that they've put on here. They've put that this match between these two has billed as being the biggest main event in Wrestlemania history. No, I think personally that's a very bold statement to make.
Yeah, that is a very bold statement, isn't it? No, I wouldn't agree. No. I wouldn't agree with that. I think but then with them putting both titles on the line, maybe it is the biggest in terms of the stipulation and everything else, of the fact that it's going to be for both titles. Maybe that's what's making it the biggest. Is it the biggest?
So many
not. Yeah,
legendary matches over the years.
Yeah. Is it going to be one that we'll remember? Hopefully it will be. And if they make it like that, they can make it one that we're going to turn around in years to come and say, oh yeah, do you remember that Lesnar Reigns match at WrestleMania 38? That's what you want, isn't it? It's like there are matches that you remember throughout the years of WrestleMania. If they could make it that it is one of those matches, then yeah, maybe it will be one of the biggest main events. Yeah. We shall see.
We'll see. At this time, do you have a prediction? Because, like we said, it's not easy.
It's going to be very 50-50, and I wouldn't be surprised if we actually disagree on this one. So I'm going to say Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, we are going to disagree, because I'm going to say Roman Reigns.
That's fine. Good. Let's keep it 50-50.
Yeah,
there we go.
that makes it interesting.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's impossible to really tell, because it's so split. Which like I say is good. It gives it that extra feel of what's going to happen. Yeah.
Maybe that's the way it should be. Maybe I mean, Reigns has held onto the title for a very long time now. And is that going to be a case of it's time for him to relinquish it, or is this going to be a case of Brock Lesnar maybe saying, look, do you know what, Roman Reigns is the better man, he's the future of the company, and him almost passing the torch by letting him have his title? We don't know. We'll see. But I like the fact it's 50-50, and I'm quite happy to say, yeah, I'll go with Brock, you go with Reigns, and let's see what happens.
Let's see. Okay, moving on to our next match, we have the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. We have Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler versus Carmella and Queen Selina and Sasha Banks and Naomi.
Yeah, a lot of teams getting chucked together at very short notice on this one, I see.
Yeah. But hopefully hopefully whoever does win this matchup can actually be used as a proper team.
Yeah.
Give them the same music, the same look, the same a tag team name. Use them as a proper tag team.
Yeah. That's something the women's division does lack is a proper tag team. And it would be nice to have them, like you said, matching outfits, coming out to one piece of music or whatever, and have them as a proper unit.
Yeah. I mean, this matchup, I think this is actually quite an exciting match, all things considered, because you've got 8 women in this match that are all experienced. They all know how to put on a good match. So I am hoping that this is going to be a good one.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised that I'm actually looking forward to this match.
Yeah. Obviously, like you said, it was originally a triple threat. Then you had Shayna Baszler and Natalya. You wouldn't have put them as a tag team in a million years.
No.
But they are a tag team that put together last minute, chucked in. I think I know the answer, but who are you going with on this one?
Right. Okay. Let's quickly zip back through the team. So we have Carmella and Queen Selina, who are the current champions. I've been kind of enjoying the whole they're not getting on and now they are getting on kind of thing that they've been doing over the last couple of weeks. That's actually been pretty good. And they look good as a team. They come out well as a team. Yeah, I quite like that. Sasha Banks and Naomi, an interesting pairing on this one, but it works.
Yeah,
it works. I like it. I like their look. The whole. I like the whole Naomi's glow thing. Anyway, I like that, and I love Sasha Banks. Anyway, I think she's absolutely fabulous. So yeah, so I think they go well together. You can do that whole. I'd love to see I hope they get a really nice WrestleMania entrance with the glow and sort of the boss sort of stuff going on as well. I think they could make that really, really, really good. Natalya and Shayna Baszler, yeah, that one has been chucked together sort of very last minute. But I'm glad to see them both on there, especially Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is so underrated and underutilized, and I think she deserves to be. They deserve to be pushing her up, and they deserve to be thinking about her as a title contender. I would be interested to see what happens after WrestleMania in terms of who the champion's next opponents are going to be. I hope that they're not going to go back and just do a load of rematches, but I would like to see people like Shayna Baszler, Natalya, Sasha, Naomi coming through. Maybe we'll possibly see the return of Bayley and Asuka because they're long overdue. We've got Alexa Bliss and things like that as well. The women's division is actually looking pretty good at the moment. It's actually a very strong looking division at the moment. So yeah, be interested to see what they do there. But I quite like these two as a team. And then finally you've got Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Wow, yeah, this is the tag team that I never knew that I wanted until they put it together, and now I want this tag team more than anything. I love these two together. Really, really works for me. The look, the style, the way that they interact with each other, I think is absolutely fabulous. Yeah, really, really, really love this one. If I'm gonna pick with my heart, I am gonna say Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Yeah, go for it, girls. That's what I want. And Liv Morgan would deserve it. The work that Liv Morgan has put in over the last 12 months has been fabulous. The matches that she had with Becky and that for the titles and things like that, she's done really, really, really well. You can see that she's developed. She would deserve this. Rhea Ripley, she seems to have been pushed to the back for a bit. So it'd be nice to see her coming out and getting her moment as well. But they do seem to be chucking her into a lot of tag teams. They did it with Nikki ASH, and now they've put her in with Liv. So I would like to see her finally get that tag team gold. And yeah, her Liv Morgan, yes please. That's what I
definitely. Want. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Two women that I absolutely love. So really, really hoping that they can come up with the victory on that. But again, both really looking forward to that match. I think it should be a really strong one.
Yeah, I never thought I'd say that about the women's tag team titles, but yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this one.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have the Raw Tag Teams Championships on the line. We have RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. Now, I'm just going to start by saying the first thing that I really like about this is you have 3 proper tag teams that are in this match now, which is good. That's what we were saying earlier about the Smackdown tag team titles. And I personally am going to go out on a limb and say that this could actually be one of the show stealers of the night. Because like, I know we've seen these teams go at each other before, but you've got 3 really strong tag teams. You've got 6 really strong superstars who we see regularly on TV. and we know can put a good match on together, I think this could be good.
I absolutely 100% agree on this. I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to this match. Good to see. It's actually good to see that the tag team titles are being defended at WrestleMania for both Raw and SmackDown. I'm happy with that. But this one is, for me, the standout of the two. Like you said, it's got three well-established teams in there. RK Bro have been on an absolute tear. They're great. I think several months ago we turned around and said, putting two wrestlers together doesn't always work. This is one of those exceptions, and it has been. It has absolutely been one of those exceptions. They've been absolutely fabulous. Randy Orton always puts on a good WrestleMania performance. RKO's flying out of everywhere, like that, absolutely fabulous. And Riddle's been great as well, and it's great to see his moveset developing into a very similar style to Randy's as well. But could this possibly be the beginning of a breakup? We will see. We know what Orton's like. We know what his temper's like. So could this be the beginning of that? We will wait and see. Alpha Academy, I really like Alpha Academy. They're really good. We were never fans of the original Otis, but when they put him with Chad Gable and gone for this whole Alpha Academy gimmick, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Really liking the work that they do. Yeah, I think that's really worked for us. The Street Profits, I like the Street Profits. I think they're very underrated again. They can put on a good match. For me, this is three teams that are going to gel. This is three teams that are going to be able to pull out all the stops. I think we're going to see RKO's. We're going to see Montez Ford flying all over the place. We're going to see Otis's strength and power. We're going to see Chad Gable putting in some fantastic wrestling moves at the proper wrestling clinic. Riddle's going to be kicking everybody, and Angelo Dawkins is going to be using his strength. All together, you've got 6 great guys in there. Yeah, I agree. This could potentially be a show stealer.
Yeah, definitely. I like all three of these teams. It's not a team on there I think, oh no, please, I don't want it to be them. So predictions wise, if any of them won it, I think I'd be happy, as long as there's a strong match.
Yeah.
And we see some good stuff, I'd be happy. But I am gonna, for my prediction in this one, go with my soft spot for the Alpha Academy, because I do really like Alpha Academy.
Okay.
And I would like to see them with the belts again.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna say this is gonna be the moment of the Street Profits.
Ooh.
I think the Street Profits would benefit from having a title run. I think this would be a good one. I would actually like to see the Street Profits get a little bit down and dirty with it as well. There were hints of it before when they had RK Bro versus the Street Profits, and Montez Ford was being a bit kind of mouthy and a bit kind of dirty with it, and I'd like to see that. I'd like to see dirty Street Profits. I want to see him go a bit heely and change things up a little bit. So I'd like that. Maybe this would be the time for them to do it as well. Pull the trigger on it. But I think the Street Profits could do with a nice little title run. I think you could get some interesting matches after WrestleMania as well, with these three teams, and also mix it up a little bit and bring in some new faces as well to that. So, but I'm going to say Street Profits.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be a really good match. We're looking forward to that. I'm really hoping that we've got high expectations, so it's really hoping that it does perform the way we hope. So fingers crossed on that one. Okay, big match coming up next. Edge versus AJ Styles.
Yes.
2 words: dream match.
Yes.
Really like this.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Edge's heel turn?
I like it. I was always more of a fan of heel Edge than I am of face Edge. I'm going to say it. An edgier Edge really works for me, and I think that a heel Edge is going to be great. I love the dynamic of having these two as well. I think that, like you said, this is a dream match. If God is a wrestling fan, then he would have chosen this match, I think, as well. So that's absolutely brilliant. For me, this is a WrestleMania match. This is a moment. This is absolutely brilliant. These are two well-established superstars, veterans of the business. They've been there, they've done it, they've got the T-shirt, they've got the scars. These guys have done it all already. But for me, the fact that it's going to be these two against each other, yeah, absolutely brilliant. I'm really looking forward to this. I got a funny feeling in the Christmas predictions, didn't I say that this could potentially be? I did say that if there was going to be a match of the year, this would be the match. So I'm really hoping that they're going to come out on top on this one. But yeah, I could see this being, this could be a dream match. Is this going to be a final match for somebody? Maybe, I don't know. AJ's always talked about retiring. Edge has obviously had his injuries, so we'll wait and see. But for me, yeah, this if you're gonna say WrestleMania match, then this is the one that you would put next to that title, because this to me is beautiful.
Yeah, I think both these superstars have got some work to do, because I think that the expectations that especially veteran wrestling fans have got on this match is going to be pretty.
This is going to be massive.
So I think I don't have any doubt in my mind that they won't perform well.
Yeah. How many times have we seen Edge put out his absolute best?
Yeah.
At WrestleMania or at a pay-per-view. I mean, Edge lives and breathes for this, and AJ he's always reliable.
Yeah.
So you're always going to get a good match out of AJ.
Yeah.
So these two together
should be good. Who are you going for?
That's a very good question. I'm gonna go with my heart on this one, and I am gonna say AJ Styles. I'd like AJ to win this one. I'd love him to have that. I want AJ to have that big WrestleMania moment, that big thing that's gonna sort of cement his legacy within WWE. He's been around the world. He's done it everywhere else. I really hope that this is that match that people will turn around in years to come and say, if you want to watch a WrestleMania match, watch this one. This is going to be a moment. I'm really hoping that this is a moment.
Yeah, definitely.
So I want to say, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Get that hand raised.
I'm going to agree as well. I think AJ Styles is going to win this one. I think this is going to be a really good match, but I would love to see AJ just have that moment on the spotlight, on the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Should be a really good match. So.
Yeah. Again, potentially another show stealer.
Yeah, definitely. So let's have a look at the last two that have been announced so far. First of all, Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. Like we said, we've spoke a lot about celebrities already on this.
Another celebrity match, and they've now announced this is going to be an Anything Goes match as well, which to me just says this is going to be a Jackass match. It's basically they may as well just call this a Jackass match. I can see Jackass people getting involved. There's probably going to be some stupid stunts, but I'm also going to say, like the Miz, Sami Zayn is very open to doing all these things, which is a good credit to him. He sort of sounded out and said that he's got respect for Johnny Knoxville for getting in the ring and doing this stuff and everything else.
Definitely.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this one. But again, it is another celebrity taking a spot.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't like that.
I think we all know that Johnny Knoxville's going to win this one.
I've got a feeling this is going to be It's going to be a good way of promoting the Jackass movie again, and Jackass in general, and Johnny Knoxville. I could see this. Yeah, I could see there's going to be a lot. I think this is going to be shenanigans. This is going to be sort of funny business and stuff going on. Whether it appeals to our humour, we'll wait and see. But yeah, I can see this one just being.
We'll see what happens. And the last match that's been announced so far, Pat McAfee and Austin Theory.
Now, I'm actually quite looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee, when he was in NXT and had the match with Adam Cole, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the War Games match.
The War Games, and then the War Games match. He was actually very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's one of these guys who's going to be. He'll be prepared to take the risk. He'll do a few bumps and jumps and everything else on there. And I think, I'm actually kind of interested in this one. I'm not usually a fan of them bringing in backstage people and ring announcers and commentators and things like that and putting them in matches. We've seen it before with Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler. We've seen Jim Ross have to get into the ring once or twice as well. I'm not usually a big fan of that, but this one I'm actually kind of like, yeah, do you know what? I'm kind of interested in seeing how this one works. And I like Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Austin Theory is really, really good. But again, Austin Theory they could have easily put into a Intercontinental ladder match. So yeah, I think they've kind of ruined that there. But yeah, this could be interesting. Will we see Mr. McMahon getting involved?
Yes.
Yeah, he seems to be Austin Theory seems to be his boy. So will we see that happen? We will wait and see.
Yeah.
But some of the build up on this has been okay. I like Pat McAfee mouthing off at Austin Theory. I like all that. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out, see what happens. It should be a pretty good match. Really like Austin Theory at the moment. So yeah, excited to see what happens here. Prediction?
Austin Theory.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see Austin Theory getting the push that he deserves. He is the wrestler in the match, and I'd like to see. I think he's a young guy, and it'd be nice to see him get his first WrestleMania big moment as well.
Definitely, definitely. So that's all of the matches that have been that have been announced so far. Obviously, we are still, like the chairman said, we're still a week away from the show, so there's still time for things to change slightly.
Yeah, the rumours are still buzzing around as well.
Definitely. And speaking of rumours, there's just a couple that we've got on here that we're going to share with you guys that we've seen. So the first one, we obviously have the KO show between Kevin Owens and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now there's been speculation on whether this will turn into a match, or if it's just going to be purely a confrontation between the two of them.
Yeah.
Now, if this is a match, this will be Stone Cold Steve Austin's first match in 19 years.
It's a long time.
Personally, I can't see it going that far. What do you think?
I don't see this being a match.
Yeah.
I don't see the relevance of it being a match, other than the fact that it's in front of a Texas crowd, and obviously they're doing. You'll get good publicity out of it. The fact that Stone Cold is going to be at WrestleMania is always going to get the crowd excited. Is always going to get the fans going. So yes, you've always got that. Does it need to be a match? Not really. But disappointed again that KO's not getting a proper match again. Intercontinental title ladder match.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, I don't know. It's. I'm kind of not really bothered about this. It will be cool to see Austin. He's going to get a huge pop. He's going to come down to the ring. He's going to do all his usual stuff, drink beers and everything else, and probably flip a few fingers. And I think at the end of the day, it's just going to be a case of it's probably going to be a stunner. There's going to be some mud hole stomping. And that's probably going to be about it. But again, Kevin Owens always prepared to do what he needs to do for the company. But will this be a match? I don't think it will be.
No. Tying in briefly with what we said a minute ago about Vince McMahon getting involved in the Austin Theory and Pat McAfee match, there has been little hints to suggest that this might happen. That segment where Pat McAfee was called into Vince McMahon's office and told he had to apologise to Austin Theory. Vince clearly has some sort of role in this match.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if either he comes down during the match or he comes down with Austin Theory to be at ringside. Or whether he goes down and joins the commentary team, because Pat McAfee won't be on the commentary team, so Vince may come down and do that and maybe do a little bit of commentary, which would be interesting because he hasn't done commentary in a while. Will Vince take a bump, take a punch? Quite possibly. He likes to get involved physically. He's in his 70s, but he likes to get involved physically with it all. So we'll wait and see. But I wouldn't object to seeing the chairman. Not me. Seeing Vince McMahon come down and by ringside, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and let's end on the big rumor. So somebody has just signed a new contract with WWE.
Yes.
And the big speculation is that he will be in a match with Seth Rollins, as Seth Rollins is yet to have WrestleMania.
Yeah. At the moment, a WrestleMania without Seth Rollins doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I would be fuming if Seth Rollins doesn't have a match at WrestleMania, partly because...
No, you will be.
Partly because I'm a big Seth Rollins fan, and partly because Seth Rollins has been one of the building blocks for the WWE over the past decade or so that he's been with the company, and I think that it's similarly to Drew, like especially with the lockdown period and stuff like that. Like Seth Rollins was there, he was showing up, he was keeping the company going.
Yeah, he's done all, hasn't he? Changed his character, changed up his style. What he's doing at the moment is absolutely great. I love it all at the moment. And you can't have a WrestleMania without Seth Rollins. I mean, this is the heist of the century, isn't it? With the when he interfered in the Reigns and Lesnar match. Some people on social media were maybe speculating that maybe he'll do that. Maybe he'll get involved in the match because he's not having a WrestleMania match. We'll wait and see. But yeah, obviously there's been lots of hints, lots of suggestions that somebody is coming over from AEW.
Unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of weeks, you'll know who that is already. Yeah. It is Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has been reportedly planned to appear at WrestleMania Night 2. There's been loads of speculations about him being brought over on a private jet, so people don't recognise him and stuff like that. He's gonna be there. If he's not there, he'll be on the Raw the next night. But I have a feeling he'll be at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Or is this a huge swerve?
Yeah.
Is this a huge swerve and he's going to turn up on AEW?
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. But yeah, there's a lot of speculation going around. I'd say if he doesn't appear at WrestleMania, then I reckon he'll be the big surprise for Raw, because you always get that surprise at Raw.
Yeah.
And we could. Thing is that I think we didn't really get one last year, did we? We didn't really get a big surprise. No. So that would be cool. But I think it's either going to be the return of Cody Rhodes, or it could be the return of Bayley, or the return of Asuka. Somebody needs to come back, but we'll see. I was also this morning heard a rumor about Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley is due to be back as well, and Bobby Lashley at the moment does not have anything penciled in. So could Bobby Lashley potentially be back for WrestleMania? Could it be Seth and Bobby?
I don't know.
Maybe.
We will see. But if it is Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, that would be a fantastic match.
I'd love to see that. They're two very similar wrestlers, two very similar characters, and I would love to see that. I think that would really would really get the chairman's taste buds going. I like that. So definitely. I'd be very up for that one. Yeah.
So that's everything broken down for you guys. As much as we can do. Apologies that this is a little on the long side again, but like I said, it's a 2-night event. So much to go through.
What do you actually think of it being a 2-night event again?
If I'm honest, I think we're out of the COVID period. As far as the world's concerned, we're out of the COVID period, so it doesn't particularly need to be a 2-night event. I think that as a schedule for the weekend, it's too much, having takeover on the morning and on the afternoon for WrestleMania. Okay, again, I don't think it needs to be a 2-night event. I really don't. I think it's almost a bit too much.
Yeah. WWE seem to be paramount now that they are going to stick to WrestleMania being a 2-night event. Does that work? Maybe it did. I don't think it does need to be so much now. I think it loses its appeal, especially because we're not getting an Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania. That's going to be on Smackdown, they've said. And I think that's something that WrestleMania does miss, is having a big standalone match that's specifically a WrestleMania match. So does it need to be a 2-night event? Not really. What was it, about 12 matches I think they've announced, and I mean you could have easily cut maybe 2 of those, or had 2 of them in the pre-show and have a 4.5 hour pay-per-view. But
we'll see what happens. But this is definitely going to be an interesting one, so definitely be a review one up from us after WrestleMania, where we can see.
At the moment, we're for this WrestleMania, but we will definitely put a review up for this one, because I think we're going to be interested to see whether it was a yay or a nay.
Yeah. So hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Let us know down in the comments what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there something that we're missing?
Are you looking forward to WrestleMania?
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It may just be, like I say, it's all opinion. There may be people on here that you might really like Logan Paul. Might really like Johnny Knoxville. Let us know down in the comments what you guys think. It is just our opinions. These aren't facts. They're just opinions. Really interested to see what you guys think. Really hope you enjoy WrestleMania weekend and WrestleMania week. Hit the thumbs up button, and we will see you next time.